Alright guys, BLM here, back with more Devil May Cry 5, continuing on with Mission 9. So let's go. We're playing as V. Oh fuck, I didn't customize. Oh no! Oh no. Okay, oh well. I forgot to customize. It is what it is though. Oh well. Yeah, we'll continue on. Yeah, I was talking about my like gaming history and stuff pretty much throughout the last episode. Might as well continue that. Yeah, so around like 2005-ish, I got a PS2. And as I already mentioned this last episode, but that's where I played Final Fantasy X for the first time. Eventually got around to playing some other games. I played like Jak and Daxter. I played Resident Evil 4 for the first time on PS2 actually.
I don't know what I found, but I think I saw some demons dancing.
Well, then I guess we keep going. The Devil's Sword Sparta is nearby.
I know there's a lot more, it's just I can't think of it offhand. Dragon Ball Tenkaichi. That's obviously something that I play a lot of.
It's coming from the Qliphoth's route.
But anyway, played PS2, definitely started to play a bit more mature games than GameCube. But eventually the Xbox One came out, the PS3 came out, and I didn't really feel too incentivized to buy those newer consoles. I really wouldn't. I started to die out a bit on gaming at that point. Like that was around the time I went to middle school, right? And middle school was not great for me. So I was like, I don't know, I kind of dropped out of gaming a bit. I remember being super excited for the Wii, and then never really got one until a bit later. My parents did eventually buy me a PS3. Which was expensive. I don't know why the fuck over $60. But either way, they bought me a PS3. And I didn't really play much on it, to be honest. I played Uncharted, the first Uncharted. Never got around to playing the second one until a bit later. I played the first Uncharted, never finished it. Played, ironically, one of the last few games I played on my original PS3 was Demon's Souls. That was because a friend got it and let me borrow it. And yeah, Demon's Souls was something. I enjoyed it at the time, if I'm being honest. I enjoyed it. Again, it was hard as shit, but again, that was kind of before I feel like what I personally look for in games changed. I think that change was probably a lot more recent than one. But either way, Demon's Souls, there was that. That was like, what, 2009, right? I'm trying to think, what else did I originally play? I played Infamous. Infamous 1. Again, didn't play 2 until later. Yeah, I didn't play Assassin's Creed yet. I didn't play Assassin's Creed until I got my 360, which we'll talk about in a second. I'm trying to think, what else did I play on the original PS3? I mean, there wasn't much, but I'm sure there was like a couple more games than that. But either way, I mean, yeah. Then eventually my PS3 broke. PS3 broke. I mean, it was pretty much right at when around Demon's Souls came out. So I mean, that was like, I think like if I'm remembering right, it was the end of 2009. Like it was around like October-ish. And my PS3 broke. It's obviously they were still expensive at that point. They're still like $400 or $500 or so, I think. So I didn't have the money to buy another one, and I didn't really care enough to get another one. But 360s were pretty cheap already at that point. I think they were $200-300. I don't know. I know it was a Black Friday deal. Essentially my parents bought me a 360 for Christmas. I don't remember if it was... I'm trying to think if it was
Rest
a
in peace.
Whatever. I think it was. It doesn't really matter. Whatever. It was a few $100. But essentially, at that point, through the stuff with the PS3 and all that, trading and shit, I had trading credit. So I got. That's when I decided to get a few games on 360, and the games that I got there definitely. One of them in particular obviously changed like everything from gaming. And that was Assassin's Creed. That was one of the games I did pick up. I got Assassin's Creed 1. Assassin's Creed 2 had just come out at that point. However, obviously I hadn't played 1, and I saw gameplay of 1. It just looked like something I would be into. I mean, I was really into Sasuke at that point, which if you don't know is the original version of Ninja Warrior, and I was also, I believe American Ninja Warrior was just starting, right, at that point, and like that was when like the free runners were really dominating American Ninja Warrior. So like I was like had an interest in free running. I had watched like free running competitions and stuff at that point, and obviously like one of the biggest factors gameplay wise with Assassin's Creed is its parkour system. So that's why I actually gave Assassin's Creed a shot. It was actually, I remember distinctly, it was between that and Mirror's Edge, and I was debating on which one I was going to pick up, and I decided on Assassin's Creed because Assassin's Creed was a third-person game, and I've said this already, never been a big fan of the wait. Alright. Oh, they're still alive. What the fuck? Why aren't they attacking me? Wait, is he dead? But either way, yeah, picked up Assassin's Creed. That obviously changed everything for me in terms of gaming. But what else did I pick up? I remember I picked up Blue Dragon. I remember that was a game I picked up, which I don't think I have back yet, do I? Because I remember I played it and I enjoyed it, but like that was at a point where like almost like every game I would buy at GameStop I would like return for like no fucking reason. That was before I started GameStop. I actually didn't start game. I started GameStop being very soon afterwards. But at that point, I hadn't started yet. So, yeah, I don't think I have Blue Dragon back yet. I would like to get it back because I actually really enjoyed the game. It's just that I played through a good chunk of it and like didn't really see myself finishing it. So I decided, I'll trade it in. It was like a $20 game at the point too, and I decided to trade in. What I ended up getting in exchange was Prince of Persia, the 2008 remake, and I fucking love that game as well. It's one of my favorite games from last gen, especially ones that aren't available on current gen yet, and probably won't be. Really enjoyed the Prince of Persia reboot, which I know gets a lot of mixed reception, but still. But what else did I pick up? Stuntman Ignition, I know, is the game I picked up because I remember that was a game that that was on sale at or not on sale, that was on display at like Target and stuff like that at the time, and I remember playing it as well, as a kid. I mean, I guess this is all when I was a teen at this point, but either way. But I remember playing it in the store at Target and like really enjoying Stuntman Ignition, so I bought the full game, and I still enjoyed it. I mean, I didn't play it that much, but it's like I enjoyed the game. What did I pick up? Like, I'm pretty sure I still own everything I picked up at that point. I just don't remember it. Like, I remember it was like 5 games, I think. What else was there? I'm trying to think. I don't remember anymore. But either way, like the game I definitely honestly spent the most time with was Assassin's Creed. Assassin's Creed 1. And I adored the game. I fucking did. I mean, like, the first time I played it too much, I had no clue what was going on in the story. And I didn't pay attention to the story. I mean, again, that's the thing, like, this is still the point where I'm not really paying attention to the story, but it was Assassin's Creed that really made me that changed my mind. By the time I finished Assassin's Creed, I really loved the story of Altair, and I really started to get into it narratively, but I didn't like fully understand it because I wasn't paying attention at the very beginning of it. So I decided to replay the game, and that time I had a greater understanding of the narrative. I had a greater appreciation for it, and that's like Assassin's Creed 1's the first game that I actually paid attention to the story, which is really weird considering Assassin's Creed 1 isn't well known for its story, but for me, I mean, that's the game that got me into video game narratives, and from that point on, I paid more attention to them. But I mean, it's still not the point where, like, now I would say, like, for me, I would say most of my enjoyment from video games comes from its narrative. I don't really. What am I supposed to be doing? Don't really play games for the challenge or for the yeah, I mean, I don't play for a challenge at all. Like, I don't play it for... I do play certain games for the gameplay, but it's, like, not much. I mean, to be honest, a lot of my focus at this point is the narrative. I think it's also because of another change that I'll talk about a little bit later, too, probably. But essentially, yeah, Assassin's Creed is the first game I paid attention to narrative, first game that I had respect for narrative in games, but, again, still didn't play games solely for, like, for the narrative at that point, yeah. But yeah, like, so Assassin's Creed, loved the first game, didn't have, I mean, obviously at that point I was a teenager, didn't have I didn't, well, whatever. But either way, like a teenager, pretty much broke outside of, like, money I would get from like Christmas gifts and birthday gifts and stuff. Like, I never got an allowance when I was a kid. I mean, to be honest, I think it's dumb to even get an allowance. Like, I think that's even just a dumb concept. Like, to just give your kid, like, random money every fucking week or month or whatever for, like, no fucking reason. But, yeah. I never got an allowance as a kid. Oh, Guitar Hero was another thing I played on PS3 and stuff, and PS2 actually. It was like, wait, I forgot to mention that. Guitar Hero. There's no. Well, I mean, I continue playing the Tenkaichi series. Like, I bought the Tenkaichi series, and the Tony Hawk series. That's something that I should mention. Yeah, that's, like, in between, like, during that kind of dark age, like, between when I got a PS3, which I think was in 2007, end of 2007. So yeah, between then and when I got my, when like my love for gaming kind of died off a bit, I was still playing Tony Hawk and Dragon Ball. Like, those are pretty much the two main series I was playing at that point. Where I still bought every Tony Hawk game as it released on PS2 or GameCube until they stopped making them on GameCube, which was with American Wasteland. So I bought, like, Project 8 and Proving Ground on PS2. And then I was still playing Dragon Ball Tenkaichi, which only released on PS2. Oh, that and the Wii, but obviously I didn't have a Wii at the time. So yeah, I mean, but yes, Assassin's Creed, like, my love for gaming returned because of Assassin's Creed. And it was at that point, okay, fuck, sorry, my mic moved, okay, but it was at that point that I, started getting back into, like, wanting to play games in general. So, like, I wanted to get back, like, my Nintendo 64 and my game, and, like, I still had my GameCube. I never sold my GameCube. So, I still have my original GameCube from when I was a kid. And a lot of the games, like, I did end up selling a lot of my games, which sucked. I really hate that I did that. I mean, to be honest, a lot of that went towards buying the Tony Hawk and Dragon Ball games I was talking about. But yeah, so I did end up selling a lot of games. Again, some of them I still don't have back. I do have most of the GameCube games back at this point. Yeah, as I said, I think the only ones I'm missing are the Mario Party games. And I think, actually, now I think about it, like, for the N64, that's kind of the main thing too. Is that's the main thing I'm missing on N64. Again, the Mario Party games are just so expensive. It's really irritating. But anyway. But yeah, so that's when I decided to get into game collecting. It was because I wanted to get all these older games back. So I remember I bought an N64 on eBay, and it was actually relatively cheap. It was like 35 bucks or so at the time, which is like funny now considering I'm pretty sure you can't get one for like under 50. Yeah, got an N64, got well, I still had my, as I said, I still had my original copy of Super Mario 64, so I played the shit out of that again. I play. Can we go here? No. Okay. Did I buy anything else? I bought Tony Hawk's Pro Skater. That's what I bought. I bought a cart-only copy of Tony Hawk's Pro Skater for like $5 or whatever. On N64 and played that as well. And yeah, and that's when I started game collecting. I ended up making a game collecting YouTube channel that I did for about 4 years, and yeah, and through that it pretty much details my entire way game collecting up until some point in 2014. And I remember like at the time, like I was actually very happy with like what I would like how that channel was doing, even though like it only like the peak it got to was like around nearing 500 subscribers, not actually reaching it. It was like 440, like 450-ish sort of range. But now it's down to like 250 something, just due to like obviously it hasn't been active in like 5 years. But yeah, I mean I did a lot of videos on that channel, but game collections, game pickups. I even like start off the channel doing like kind of similar videos to what I would do on my other channel now, my main review channel now, where I would do like game rankings and my thoughts on like certain like news things and stuff. It's like, but like that's like that kind of like stopped, and I just focused on game collecting. Yeah, and that kind of game collecting kind of consumed my life for a while. I mean, pretty much like my entirety of high school. I mean, it pretty much consumed a lot of my time during that. So yeah, game collected, and again, like I'm still like, even though to be fair, like if I like when I eventually get around I've stopped game collecting since then. Though I mean to be fair, I do want to go back to it to a degree, not to the extent I was doing where I was going for complete sets and everything. I never actually reached a complete set either after all the time, because like everything I was buying was in person. I didn't buy anything online. Also, the way I collected, I was broke. I mean, I had no job, I had no money again outside of gifts and stuff, so I had to I did get around to, like, when I eventually got the collection big enough to the point where I was picking up duplicates, I did get around to selling those, and then through that made a little bit of money. But it's like, even then, like, I was broke. I mean, like, it's funny because like I would have like a budget of like $20 a month, which is really funny in retrospect. And like I would buy like a whole bunch of games for that price, but it's like none of those games would actually be good games. It would be a lot of like shit, like sports titles, and maybe there'll be like 1 or 2 good games within that entire month. But it's like that's kind of the way it would go. Yeah, again, tried to. I just really enjoyed the collecting part of it. Like I really, to be honest, I think my the amount of actual games I played during that period. What is it going on? Probably dropped significantly. I mean, like I really enjoyed the collecting aspect of it. I enjoyed trying to get as many games as possible for as cheap as possible. And I thought it was really fun for me, even though in retrospect now, I mean, obviously, like I have no interest in that. Like I would go out to garage sales, pawn shops, all that sort of stuff, and just try to get games for as quickly as possible. Do we need anything? Yeah, that one. Ooh, let's do that one too. I got those that much damage now. Yeah, let's just keep that. Yeah, I'm taking it as we're about to get to a boss battle. But yeah, so that was 2010, right? I started collecting, and things gradually built up. I mean, the videos are still on my other channel. You can see game room tours every year, and just see how much the collection grew year after year after year. But again, I did it for, like, even though in the grand scheme of things, I mean, it costs a decent amount of money. It's like, really, I mean, like, for the collection that I built up, I mean, it was still cheap. I mean, like, like, if I were to sell each individual game, like, I mean, my collection is essentially valued at around, like, if you were to, like, individually price every single item, it would be over 10,000. And, like, I think I probably spent around, a little bit over 1,000 on everything. Well, I mean, everything, I obviously not including, like, I'm not including PS4 in that, because, like, that's entirely different now. But, like, in terms of, like, what in terms of pre-PS4, like, yeah, that's probably the case. And the problem is obviously selling everything individually, and it's like more than likely you're not going to be able to do that. But like, if you value everything at the collection on what it's like what it sells on like eBay for, then yeah, like my collection is worth over $10,000. But it's still not I don't even know what I was gonna say. But either way, it's like the collection definitely grew a good chunk. I mean, but I did grow tired. Well, first I grew tired of the YouTube videos. I think it's kind of ironic now, considering I edit the videos a lot more now. But at the time, I grew tired of the editing process of it, which I barely even edited at the time, which is kind of funny looking back on it. But yeah, that caused me to stop doing YouTube videos. I still recorded the videos. I stopped posting them. I did intend on eventually uploading them, just never got around to it. And then now, and then eventually, like, obviously it became to a point where I just stopped. But I still collected. I still collected for another, like, year, probably even a year and a half, like, until pretty much like, sometime in 2015 was when I stopped game collecting. And the reason I stopped game collecting was mostly due to it just being very hard to collect in my area. A lot of the methods I would get games at, like pawn shops, thrift shops, and garage sales and stuff, got picked over. I mean, I do still think there's probably fines to, like, get out there with the garage sales. But the problem is that in my area, there's a lot of resellers. There's a lot of people that go out to garage sales early and then buy stuff to sell them later. So that's a big factor there. So you have to get really lucky and also get out early to get good stuff at garage sales.
This sword is still too strong for me.
You have to pawn shops are completely dry. I even went to a pawn shop last time I went to a pawn shop was actually last Black Friday, because I passed one of the like pawn shops that I normally went to, and it's still dry. Like nothing good there. So that's a thing. Thrift shops, I haven't been in one in probably a couple years now, but again, still pretty dry. Nothing there. I mean, it's really like the way I used to get games isn't really a functional way anymore, and because that's a major factor why I stopped game collecting. Ooh, Dante. That is Dante, right? Just really bloody hair. Yeah, it is. Okay. So, yeah, I mean, that took that 5-year period was a good chunk of my life. And to be fair, like I said this at the time, and I say this now, I would never ever get rid of my entire collection. Like even at my collection right now, like there's never a point where I'm getting rid of certain games. Like for me, there's just no point. The resale value isn't really worth it, and also just even in terms of space, like I would rather keep these things in boxes than get rid of them. Like there's no way I would ever sell certain games here. But yeah, the collection did peak at nearing 3,000 games. Obviously since then I have sold a lot of stuff. Okay, so what time is it? 27 minutes, really. Okay. But yeah, I have sold a lot of stuff to where now the current collection count is at 1,650. And in terms of on the shelf, like I have shelves that are filled with stuff to get rid of. I believe after getting rid of all that stuff, I'm still at around 1,100 games. 1,100, 1,200, somewhere in that range. Now, could more go down the road? Yeah. I still haven't gotten rid of, like, I haven't gotten rid of any games in the last years. I mean, like, and mostly due to laziness. I mean, really, it's just a time thing. It takes a lot of time to. Because when he was a kid.
I need to find Virgil. I promise I'll be back. I know this is hard. You must listen to me. Be a big boy. A man, huh?
It takes a lot of time, and that's kind of a pain. And also, to be fair, like,
if I don't return,
the way I've been doing, like, I haven't really sold anything individually. What I have been doing is trading in stuff.
Start a new life. As someone else. A new beginning.
Yeah, I have been trading in games that I don't, like the games I don't care about, and trading them for games that I do care about. That's essentially what I've been doing. And pretty much have been doing that in a slow process since 2015. Like, I kind of, like, just the idea of a complete set doesn't really interest me anymore. And it did at the time, but now I just don't care anymore. So, yeah, now I just want games that I actually want, that I want to play, that I want to
For a second
have
there, I
for
thought you were gonna
sentimental
shish kebab
reasons,
me.
that sort of stuff.
I know how stubborn
I remember,
you can be.
because, like, this also coincided with, like,
I
when
thought it might be the only
TV
way to
and
wake
Lust,
you.
who is a YouTuber,
What day
gaming
is it?
YouTuber, game
The
collector,
15th of June.
YouTuber that I had a lot of respect for, that he also stopped collecting around that time. And he did a video where he was talking about the system that he would use on what he would keep and get rid of. It's like, do I ever play, and I'm playing this game again, do I have any, there were like 3 steps, I forgot the exact one, but I know, well, it was like, do I ever plan on playing this game again?
If you could defeat yours,
I forgot what the second one was. The last one was like, do I have any sentimental reason to keep it? And like, if it didn't follow those 3 criteria, then you get rid of the game. And that's kind of what I did. I mean, like, now, like, and to be honest, it's not even that. Like, to be honest, there's still stuff on the shelves right now. I'm looking at that. Like, at the end of the day, do I need them? No. I mean, like if I were to keep the bare bones of the collection, like, I mean, I can narrow this down to probably like 500 games or so, I think. I don't know. I mean, and PS4 really inflates things here. I mean, that's kind of the issue there.
Oh, it stinks in here.
I know.
Trish
Smells like hot garbage.
This is far worse than I thought.
There's no crime in turning tail, V. These things might be a little too much for you.
You're right. I'll leave the rest to you.
What? Whoa, my, V. All the way down here and turning tail, really? Huh?
One must always have an insurance policy.
Who was that guy? Can't believe he just ran.
No one special. Come on. Let's go clean up this garbage.
First come, first serve on the targets, right?
Music to my ears. Hurry up, Dante!
Guess I get to see it with my own eyes.
Yeah, like, yeah, at this point, like,
If
my
it really
PS4
is
collection
you.
is really what that its own separate thing. Ooh, we're playing as Dante now. Okay, so this is before. This is like what, 4 hours before the prologue. We'll end here though. So yeah, we'll end here. Next episode, go ahead and continue on. But for now, thank you for watching.